All right, ladies, happy Thursday. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Let me know if like something's not working. I think I hit record, so, oh yep, it says recording in the corner. So this is kind of my first time doing this, so just let me know if something happens or you can't hear me or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with some announcements that I got from Alicia. So just remember to be inviting to our coach sneak peek that we're having on Saturday the 27th. It'll be on Facebook, and Alicia, I think she'll be like pretty soon she'll be telling us like the group that it's in, but I think it's the same one as last time. And then she's just going to do like a 10 a.m. like live video. So we can be inviting people to that group and to the coaching opportunity. I know like I put like on my Instagram post today, like just, you know, no obligations, just come check out, see what we do, just kind of the invites like that. And she said we don't need to like even be present for that if we don't want to. I mean, we can be there for it, but it's not like a requirement either. We can just invite people and then she'll take charge of the video. And then also just a reminder that Summit is coming up, so that's exciting. I started looking at plane tickets this week and the prices went up and I'm like, oh my goodness. So now I'm trying to decide, do I buy now or do I keep waiting it out? So I guess we'll see. But that is coming up. And speaking of Summit, just a reminder that if you get Success Club points, I think it's 10, well, I know that it's 10 of them in April and then 10 in May, you get a special invite to their Success Club party. So definitely something to be working towards and goals for sure. Let's see here. And then I think there's some things for like Diamond coaches if you reach Diamond and stuff like that. Different things, different parties, different invites for Summit. And you can check out more information on that. I think the coach office has like all the FAQs on that. So just a reminder that the 3-day refresh is on sale. And I know we had talked about doing like a 3-day refresh after Easter, which I am totally game for. I didn't get around to doing it the last time. So I'm sure we can talk more about that and kind of pick the exact day, because I wouldn't mind doing it kind of right after Easter. So maybe we should start that conversation in our little group and figure out what to do with that. But they're still 10% off through the 22nd. So even though I have a kit sitting here, I think I'm going to order another one too, just because they don't go on sale that often. So it's always good to have. So if you are ever thinking about doing the refresh or want an extra one, like definitely the time to pick up one of those. And then the Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge Pack is still $20 off. So that's something to be promoting to our challengers. Okay, and then next week the Team Arise call is going to be Josh Coates, and I know he's like I've listened to some of his live things on Facebook before, and he's very like motivational and inspiring, so definitely something to check out. But instead of being at Tuesday night, it's going to be on a Wednesday night. So it's Wednesday the 24th, and then it's at 7 Central Time. So not Tuesday, Wednesday, but that's who will be leading that. Definitely worth going to and listening to it. So that's on the Team Arise page. And then Alicia said that next Thursday, our team call will be a power hour. So that'll be at the regular time on Thursday. And so just, you know, feel free to just join in with us and be prepared to work. So it's always kind of fun when you kind of have that set hour just to really crunch and get things done kind of as a group and kind of motivate each other. So that'll be next Thursday. And then the following Thursday, which would be, oh my goodness, I think into May already. Yeah, May, that's craziness. Didn't even realize that. But anyways, the following week, Erin Hicks will be hosting our team call. So definitely some announcements and different things to be looking forward to. All right, does anyone else have anything to add for announcements or anything that I missed? No? All right. So I'm just going to jump into the team call tonight. I am going to be talking about making consistent habits with like our coaching business, because one of the things that I've really struggled with, I became a coach last summer, and then just like, especially once the school year started, was consistency. Like I would do really, really good for about like a week and a half of like getting my invites out, you know, showing up and talking to people, getting those connections going, and then I would just totally like have a rough week at school or just get like super busy with things and just completely like not do a single thing for, you know, about another week. And then I'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm not sending my invites. So I'd start up again. And I was like extremely inconsistent with that. And I know you can't make excuses, but like I was trying to deal with wedding stuff and balance all these different things. And I was really, really struggling. So right after the wedding, I had a call, like a one-on-one call with Alicia, and she asked me like what I was struggling with. And I said, it's definitely consistency. Like, and I knew it. Like, I was like, I will show up, you know, and do my invites, and then I just like fall off the bandwagon just completely. And so that was definitely something that I needed to work on. So then today I'm just going to talk about why like it's important to have consistent habits. I'm also going to talk about steps for making those consistent habits. And then finally, like I'll kind of explain a little bit what my habits are. I am a teacher, so you'll probably notice me talking with my hands a lot. It's just kind of what I do. So try not to be too distracting with that, but I do. And sometimes I talk fast too. So try not to ramble on too much. But consistent habits are really key, especially in our coaching business. And I know that like, it doesn't always come natural for some of us, like to just show up and do this, you know, every single day. And people always say that it takes 21 days to make a habit. So it's kind of one of those things that you have to really, really work at. And it's probably not just going to happen overnight. Like I said, I started coaching like in the summer, and I finally kind of feel like I'm getting into my routine. And why it's important to have these consistent habits is because consistent habits are what makes us show up even when things get stressful, difficult, and really hard. So, and if you see me looking down here, I have all my notes too. So I'm gonna keep looking down so I don't get off on a rabbit trail here. But yeah, like I said, it's those consistent habits that help us show up even when life isn't easy or when it is difficult or crazy sometimes. So, and I think the benefits of having these consistent habits that I've seen like in my own life has been that since I've showed up and started being more consistent, I've had more conversations with people. I'm still not reaching my goals where I want to be with, you know, my rank or success club, but I know that like gradually I'll be getting there because I have noticed a lot more interest in my posts and people actually responding more to the conversations just because I'm consistently showing up. I'm consistently sharing my story and posting and inviting. So I know that it is definitely making a difference, and it will just continue to make a difference in the long run as well. And I think just for myself personally, when I'm consistent, I feel better about myself too. Like I know that I'm doing my very, very best that I can be. And I feel like I'm actually making a difference. So it kind of helps like my mental state too, just, you know, to help myself feel a little bit more successful because I know that I'm showing up. Okay, so now I'm going to start in just talking about like steps for making some of those habits and what I did. So step one that I have written down is know your why. And then I added to it and believe in it, because I know that when I first started coaching, Alicia, she talks to all of us and she's like, what's your why? And I just like, and I read like, it's the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, like that one. It talks about being passionate about your why. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I had my why, but I don't know. I wasn't like super passionate about it. And I didn't like really know for sure what that is. And I think it kind of comes over time too. You'll realize what your why truly is. The thing that made me realize my why seems absolutely crazy and makes me sound like a crazy cat mom, but I ended up getting this little kitten around Thanksgiving time. And I remember like when she was just this little tiny little kitten and I would have to go to school, like I was just like, oh, the poor little kitten. I would like worry about her, and I would actually take her from my fiance's farm and I would drive up to my apartment in town, and then I would go check on her on my lunch break and run back to school. And like teachers only get like 30 minutes and it takes, 5 minutes to get across town. And I was just like, why do I like care so much about this little kitten, But then I realized if I can care that much about this cat, like just think how much I'm going to feel about like my own kids someday. Like think about how much love I'm going to have for my own children. And I just realized at the time that maybe I wasn't like, I love teaching, but maybe I'm not made to be like a working mom. And I don't know yet because I don't have kids. I don't know what the future, has in store in that area. But I just know that I think that I would have a very hard time leaving my baby at a daycare while I am teaching. And sometimes kids aren't always very grateful for you to be teaching, so I think I would kind of struggle with that. I don't know. I'm not there. And kudos to those working moms, like absolutely nothing, wrong with that at all. Like you go out there and you work and you still love your kids, and there's absolutely, you're rocking it. That's awesome. But I just know that for myself, I think I'd probably kind of struggle with that. But like I said, not there yet. So I don't know exactly how that will all work out, but I kind of want to be able to really run with this coaching business so that I have the option. So I have the option to be able to stay home with my kids someday if I choose to do that. So that's when I really became passionate in it. And I was like, okay, I need to start doing something so that I can still, so I can have that choice someday and I can just see how I feel at that point in time. Because I am the type of person that is very like driven. I am independent and I like to kind of have my own income, my own money and stuff like that too. And nothing wrong with stay-at-home moms whose husbands support the family either. I mean, that's their choice too, and that's what they enjoy. But just me, I like to kind of have that extra income coming into the family and feel like I'm making a difference there too. So that's kind of why, that's my why with coaching, so that I can have the choice to stay home with kids someday in the future. And I am very passionate about it now, and I kind of finally feel like, okay, that's my why. I believe in it, so now I can go. So identifying that why and believing it, I think, is like absolutely key in order to make these habits happen. Because pretty sure that if I didn't believe in my why, when the alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning, I'm not going to want to get out of bed because I'm just like, whatever. But now that I kind of have like a vision, that really helps me get up in the morning. So that leads into my second step for making consistent habits, which is get up early and put yourself first. And I'll be honest, I am not a morning person. Like, I'm the type of person that all through college and like my first couple years teaching, I knew exactly what time I could sleep until, like, and still make it to school on time. I'm not a morning person. Like, you will find me with my coffee in hand. And so it wasn't until just like basically at the beginning of March here that I was like, okay, if I'm going to get things done, I actually have to start getting up earlier. And I'm so glad that I have. Because it's not being selfish to put yourself first. And I know that some of you are probably, moms with kids, and like, it's kind of nice to get up before all of them and get things done. I know I'm married to a farmer, so sometimes when I try to get things done when I get home, it's like, hey, we need you to go get these parts from John Deere, and we need you to bring you out, or we need you to drive us out to the field, and then can you take this and do that? Like, I never know what my day is going to be like when I get home, and like, I'm so thankful that I can help my husband on the farm, but I have to get up and designate that time to myself to get things done. Otherwise, it's the rest of my day is just unpredictable. So getting up early and putting myself first is key. And I do not believe that is selfish at all. And I think it's especially true if you have like a job that you have to go to, because I don't know, like everyone's jobs, but like with teaching, it is so unpredictable. Sometimes you think you're leaving school at 4 o'clock when you can leave, and then all these things happen, and it does not happen at all. So yeah, it's really, really important for me just to get up. And what I do is actually get my workout done and do my personal development, and I'll talk about that too. But those are kind of things I take care of right away. And then not making excuses for it either, not just saying, well, I was really tired, and I get that. Every once in a while I do that too. I'm just like, I didn't sleep at all. And like, you do have to listen to your body, but really make sure that it's a good excuse. Like, don't make just little excuses all the time for not getting up early and putting yourself first. And then, like I said earlier, let your why be what gets you out of bed, your vision, your purpose for doing that. And just because then you aren't as likely to be interrupted. Step 3 for making those consistent habits would be to set work hours. And Alicia she's told me that since day one. She was always like, you need to set some work hours. What are your work hours going to be? And I was like, well, my days are so different. And they are. Like, they do vary, but I have set those work hours. For me, it's basically from 5:30 a.m. until 6:30 is like time to myself. That's like my personal development, my workout, and just different things like that. And sometimes even some of my coaching business stuff. And then like after school, when I get home, I try to work for like another hour and finish up whatever else I didn't get done. And it just kind of breaks up the work for me too. And I do that while I snuggle my kitten when I get home because she wants to be held. So then I just sit there and get my stuff done. Step 4 for making consistent habits is to limit distractions. That's the teacher in me, I guess, limiting those distractions. But I know for me, like sometimes, most of the time, I just don't even have the TV on, like when I'm trying to actually get stuff done, because I am easily distracted and I start watching something, I get sucked in. So it just really works by just, don't turn on the TV. And when I'm actually working my business, don't just be scrolling through, Instagram and Facebook and getting distracted or clicking on ads and wandering off, just really limiting that and staying on task. And I know a lot of people set a timer, which I've heard is really helpful. I don't actually do that, but I've seen a lot of people share that really works with them. And our Success Club business activity trackers actually tell us like how many minutes to spend on each activity. So that can be another thing maybe that you could do too, because it gives you like a suggested time, and then you would just know, okay, I'm going to do invites for this amount of time, or connections for this amount of time, and just kind of narrow it down like that. And a lot of people I've actually been seeing, they're posting, like some of the coaches are posting like timers on their computers, like so it's an actual visual right in front of them. So if that works for you, that would be a good thing to do too. And then my step 5 for those consistent habits was to use your daily business activity tracker. And I'm guessing they're on the Coach office. I actually like printed a year's worth when Carl came out and talked about them. But that I am like one of those people that it just really helps to just check things off my list. This is last week's, obviously, so it's filled out, but it is kind of nice too, because every single week you restate your why. You talk about like your target market, who you're trying to attract with your business. And then, go through and really check off all those different areas. I'm not going to get into it because I'm sure you guys, Alicia's talked about it before too, but really, really use that just to help you stay on track and to stay focused on your work. And then my tip 6 is, if you miss a day, double up tomorrow, because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I just, today was crazy when I got home, I'll get home from school and I know I need to finish up some of my stuff in that last hour, and I'll just be like, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. But then I remember, if I just sit down and just do my invites and do my, add to my followers and get those business essentials done, then tomorrow, I don't have to do double the work. So for me, that really works, because I'm just like, if I just show up and do what I need to today, then tomorrow's a fresh day and I don't have to double up. And I think since like I started working on being consistent, like at the end of February, beginning of March, that time frame, I have only like I take one day off a week. So I work like 6 days a week on my coaching business. But I've only missed 2 days where I had to double up the next day. And like yesterday was one of those nights where I was just like, no, wait, it's Tuesday. And I was just like, and then I was like, nope, because then you have to double up on Wednesday. So that really works for me, just kind of telling myself, just sit down, get it done, and then the next day is like a fresh start too. But if you do miss, have some grace, move on, and just double up and make up for it the next day. All right, so those are my steps for making consistent habits. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was just my habits, like what I'm kind of doing just as an example. So I've kind of shared about these just a little bit, so I'll kind of go over the parts I've talked about. But like I said, what I started doing to become more consistent is my 5:30 alarm. And I set my Fitbit for 5:30, and so that hopefully then I don't wake up my husband like with the alarm clock going off. But I do set an emergency alarm on my cell phone that goes off at 5:35 just in case I oversleep, because I don't always wake up to this. But it's just non-negotiable. Like when my alarm goes off, I just know that I need to wake up and get up and get going with my day, because that is my me time. And basically what I do is pretty much right away I mix up my pre-workout and start sipping on that while I do, I usually do like a brief devotion, and then I do my PD. Which if you listen to National Wake Up Call a couple weeks ago, they had, I think her name is Rhonda Race on there, and she talked about like finding PD that relates to you. And like that is so important, because we all have different areas that we're working on, and like that really, really spoke to me. And I know like some of the books that I have read, like I loved Girl Wash Your Face. Right now I am reading Mastering Your Mean Girl. Absolutely love that book, because I tend to be, critical and hard on myself sometimes, and I do have to like battle that mean girl. And I'm looking forward to reading Rachel Hall's other book. I already have it, Girl Stop Apologizing. But those are the books that have really like spoken to me. And then 100 Days to Brave, I really like that one as well. But you have to find the book that like speaks to you. And what she said on that wake up call was like, find something that is like an area that you're struggling with, and that's where you need to work on your PD. So it has to be something that you enjoy. So really find something good, because I actually get like excited to read my PD in the morning. Like after my devotion, drinking my pre-workout, or reading that professional teacher, personal development. But yeah, I get excited for it, and it should be something that you're actually excited to read. And that can be the thing that's like, I always used to skip it. Like I was just like, I don't have time for that. Like, but no, that I just get my day started off right, and it just really gets me in the right mindset for the day. And like, that is so helpful, because like, I know a lot of you have jobs where you are around people and you are pouring into people every single day. And we do that with coaching, but we also do that with our other jobs that we have. And if I get in the right mindset in the morning, like I am such a better teacher, like for the kids around me. Like I feel more positive, more ready to go, taking that time for myself and working on, my basically mental game for the day really seems to help me a lot. So just taking that time right away to do that has really, really helped me. And I do that while getting my kitten snuggles and giving her attention before I leave for work. And then a lot of times, if I do have time left over before I start my workout, I will try to get the follow-ups done. Like if I sent messages the evening before when I got home from work, then I'll try to follow up with the people so that then maybe I can follow up again over my lunch break and keep that conversation going. And then there's some days like on Fridays, or if I have something after school that I'm going to be busy with, that I will get up a little bit earlier and then I get my invites done. And I'll be honest, like working as a full-time teacher, like right now, my goal is 5 invites a day. Alicia challenged me to double that, and I do need to definitely do that if I'm going to want to grow this business. But sometimes starting small, like I was getting so overwhelmed trying to do like 15 invites a day, like it was so overwhelming for me. I felt just like stressed out, felt like I couldn't do it. But 5 is like very, very manageable. And then most days I get more than that because I'm just, you know, inviting and just out there doing it. So start with something that's manageable. And like you can send off 5 invites like that, you know, go through your stories, see who's watching them, new followers. And it's kind of like, I haven't read the book, but they say eat that frog, like do the thing that you don't want to do first. So if invites is what is scary, just get it done like right away while you're sitting there before you push play, like just send out your invite and just get that done with the day. Then you don't think about it the rest of the day. So I do like to do that if I have time. And then from 6 to 6:30 is usually when I do my workout. It's really nice to transform 20 because it was like 20 minutes, but now I'm doing 21-day fix, so it's a little bit longer, but I'm still being able to get that done. And then making sure that you're posting about your workout in a challenge group to help motivate our challengers, and then posting also on our social media so that we are leading by example, so that people aren't just like, why does this girl keep inviting me? Like, I don't know what she does. You know, actually be there leading by example so they can see what you're doing. So they're like, oh yeah, I think I could do that, you know, and make it so that they can relate to you better, because we are to be a product of the product. So just make sure you're sharing that. And then, like I said, sometimes I try to get like work done on my lunch break, but like I said, school teacher, completely unpredictable. Sometimes there's like kids in my room, and like there was, I think it was on Wednesday, I think I had like 15 minutes to myself when the kids finally went to like the lunchroom to have like a quick break. So like there was no like coaching work being done on that lunch break. But a lot of times I will try to sit there in my classroom and, you know, maybe if I didn't get my invites done in the morning, I'll just send out 5 quick invites. A lot of times I do my happy birthdays and add my followers during that time because it's pretty easy just to scroll through your Instagram while you're having lunch and, you know, find your people and add them. So, and then when I get home that day, if I have new followers, then I can just go ahead and send them, you know, a message. So it's kind of nice. It kind of leads into some connections too. Let's see here. Okay, and so then basically then when I go home, like I said, I spend like an hour, sometimes not an hour, but just kind of depends what I need to do, and just basically wrap up whatever I didn't get done on this business activity tracker. And I try to do it like right away when I get home before I get like tired. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel like taking a nap, but I just get it done because I'm like, then I have the rest of the evening. Try to get it done before my husband comes in so I can be present when he's in the house. Get it done before I cook supper or clean the house. And I do have a half-hour drive too. So like most of the time I'm not getting home till like 5 o'clock, but it doesn't take long just to sit down and finish up whatever you need to do. And then I think it kind of keeps me on task because I'm like, okay, I got to get this done so I can cook supper and, you know, tidy up for the night. And then I like to get it done before I sit down in the evening and watch TV. But like Alicia said, you can get some of those things done, you know, while you're relaxing, watching TV, like adding followers. That's always something that you can be doing, you know, in the evening too, if you need to. So yeah, basically that's kind of like what my schedule looks like for kind of instilling some of these consistent habits. And like I said, I'm still not where I want to be rank-wise or even with Success Club. Like I only have 2 points this month, which I'm not giving up. I'm talking to some other people. So, but you know, it's just one of those things I feel so much better. I feel like I'm actually, you know, trying, and I have made a lot more connections just by being consistent. Like I do truly believe that consistency is key. So I'm kind of excited. Like I've noticed a lot of progress since when I started being this way, you know, in March. Like people have kind of been like, no, or ghosted me, and then they come back, you know, like in April. So there is kind of that consistent pattern. So I'm excited to see like what will happen when I've actually been consistent with this business for just basically longer than like a month or two too as well. So I know that'll be definitely good. So, all right. So does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to add? Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I tend to kind of just ramble on and keep going. So keep it moving. All right. Well, if nobody has anything then, I suppose we can just jump off and have a good night. I hope you all have a great Easter. So we'll see you next week. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.